Okay, so we're starting in the first house with Aries. So this is Aries reading, and we're going to go through the 12 houses to look at the different signs and Aries connection with, to see how they will show up to fight for Aries love. So starting out with Aries and Aries. Aries and Aries. Aries and Aries. Aries with other Aries. Aries. Okay, I had to take that call. Okay, awesome. All right, so in the first house, I'm looking at a transition in this connection. So it looks like there's no need to fight in this reading. So I do the short-term energy readings to see the trajectory and the way that the connection is going at the moment. This is a general reading. General readings are not intended to resonate with everyone, so if it doesn't resonate, don't force it. I'll be back to do another one. At this time, it looks like there's been an understanding. So I don't see a need to fight. The fight is in understanding. It does look like there's been a transition in the connection. It looks like a new chapter just began. An understanding established. A new chapter just began. And I'm also looking in the trajectory. It looks like a connection has high likelihood to reconcile in this new chapter, in this new phase. There's a reconciliation on the horizon as well. All right, so that's what I have for Aries with Aries. Now we'll look at Aries with Taurus, and this includes cusp energy, so that would be Taurus on an Aries cusp and Taurus on a Gemini cusp as well. All right, Aries and Taurus. Aries with Taurus. Taurus. Aries with Taurus. Aries and Taurus connection. Aries and Taurus. Aries, Taurus. Aries, Taurus. Aries, Taurus. Aries, Taurus. Aries, Taurus. Okay. All right. So this particular connection is, yes, feeling that cusp energy that I just talked about. So definitely the Taurus Aries cusp for the Taurus in this connection. This is Aries' reading, and we're looking at the Taurus's energy. So we're looking at stable energy coming into this picture. So I'm not detecting a need to fight. It looks like there's understanding, harmony. Um, this could even be a single person, a single lover that has gone through fighting themselves for their own love, you know, establishing the unity and the balance within themselves. And I'm also picking up the transitional energy as described in Aries's reading Aries with other Aries. This transitional energy looks like the reconciliation, and it looks like for that reconciliation, in this specific reading and trajectory, it looks like there were walls, there was some sense of a block, you know, from their person of interest, from energy in general, from the world in general, a block and such to isolate their own energy and to deal with themselves, you know, and preparing themselves to come into connections and to be balanced. So moving out of a toxic situation into a better situation is after a time period of healing and restoration within oneself. So that's what I'm picking up in this connection as well. All right. Again, reconciliation is on the horizon, and the method of fighting for your love, Aries, it appears to be more in an understanding type of way. I don't see intense, agitated type of energy, but understanding, healing, harmony, balance. That's what I'm picking up in the second house, Aries with Tauruses. So now we'll look at the connection with Aries and Gemini. 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 Okay, so this being a general reading that is not intended to resonate with everyone. And look at, there's Aries energy in the form of Empress, and here is Gemini's energy in the form of the King of Swords. So yeah, this being a general reading that's not intended to resonate with everyone. I see the current, the couple, the connection, even for those who are single, after a time that rendered clarity, because we have the Ace of Swords, so there's newfound sense of clarity. This connection is moving toward a higher level of commitment, and it looks like that is confirmed in the Ace of Pentacles here, moving to a higher level of commitment. So it looks like if there was a fight for love, that has already been established and completed successfully with clarity, and now moving the connection to a higher level of commitment is what I'm looking at here. All right, so now we'll look at Aries and Cancer connection. Thank you, God, for your goodness and your mercy. All right. Aries and Cancer. Aries and Cancer connection. Aries and Cancer connections. Aries with the Cancerians. Aries, Cancer. Okay. Wow, awesome. Aries, Cancer. Wow. Okay, actually for this one, in this connection here, we're looking at the connection. There's a wish fulfillment. So it starts off a passionate connection, a wish fulfillment, some clarity established here, a sense of clarity with the Ace of Swords, and then there is a blockage. So there is fighting for your love as the connection progresses. So let's see, what is the method and the way this fighting for your love, Aries? How is Cancer going to fight for your love? Is something that I'm going to need to clarify. So here in the third house, I'm going to continue working on the spread to get more information. Okay, so initially off the bat, we're looking at a third-party situation, and the Temperance is an alchemizing embodiment here, blending elements together that don't normally mix well. So let's continue to get more information and develop the spread. I'm now looking for the fourth position. Okay, that's the Queen of Cups, and so that is our Cancerian's energy in the Queen of Cups here. Looking for the fifth position now. Okay, Two of Fire. Six of Fire. Three-card combination in the seventh position. Now I'm looking for the eighth position. The Moon. The ninth position. King of Pentacles, and now I'm looking for the 10th position. Okay, that's the 16th major arcana, aka the Tower. Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Fire. So in this connection, it looks like there's a moment of pause, a moment of disruption that was in the aforementioned balance, wish fulfillment. There's been a disruption, and even here I'm still left on a cliffhanger that I was trying to clarify in the previous spread that I was looking at. For initially that was the Five of Fire. Now I'm looking at it in the 16th major arcana. So both those energies look like a fight, a disruption, a blockage of some sort. The 16th major arcana is more so the abrupt breakdown for the breakthrough, for the outcome. Actually after the Tower, after the 16th major arcana, in sequential order is the Star. So we were looking at the Star initially in the first placement in that spread that we were looking at. Then there was the Ace of Swords, and then there was the Five of Fire. So just looking here, it looks like there's double checking, like our person is double checking. This is technically Cancer's energy on the table that I'm looking at, and it's asking, how will Cancer fight for Aries love? In this case, it looks like there was already a fight for Aries love, and that fight was successful, and there was a sense of clarity. Now it appears that there's double checking, like our person of interest is wanting to be sure within themselves, according to the data that they come to realize. Initially, they found it to be a wish fulfillment, but it looks like upon further observation or upon further research, they want to double check to be sure. That's what this looks like here. How will they fight for your love, Aries? It looks like they want to be introspective within themselves to make sure that they embody everything necessary to bring what is needed to the table for you and for your connection, is what it looks like. Okay, so that's what I have for Aries in the 4th house. Next, I'll move to look at Aries connections in the 5th house, which is Leo's house. Aries in the 5th house. So this is going to be an Aries Leo connection that we're moving to now. Also, there's cusp energy here, so it will be Leo Cancer cusps as well as Leo Virgo cusps. And that's the King of Pentacles. Six of Cups. Eight of Pentacles. Alright. So how is your person fighting for your love, Aries? This looks like we're coming in this connection. Your person realizes that you are their soulmate. There's a sense of familiarity in this particular storyline. In a general reading, it's not intended to resonate with everyone. This particular storyline is talking about a connection that has already been established. There's familiarity here, a soulmate, and putting in the work to make this connection work. So we're looking at your person putting in the work to make this connection work. That's how they're fighting for your love, to show, improve their love, to put the necessary work to make things work is what we're picking up with Aries and Leo. Now we'll look at Aries and Virgo connection. Aries and Virgo. Alright, Aries and Virgo. In this connection, it's coming in with Virgo energy unsure. So they don't have the clarity. They don't have the love confirmed. And they're going about doing their research. So they're fighting for this love by confirming the data, by pouring out their cup. Yeah, by pouring out their cup, starting from scratch and doing the research. Alright. Let's see, what type of research? Let me see, I'll get more information here. Now, in this particular spread, even in this placement, we could look at the card combination in the upright position and or in the reverse. So I'm going to put it in a neutral orientation to exhibit that. Let's see, should I put it in a, no, I'll remember it being in the reverse. I'll continue. So I'm going to look for the third placement now. Alright. So it looks like in the recent past there was a breakup or a stress in the connection that brought it to a breaking point. So it might not be a complete breakup, but it looks like there's a high likelihood that there was a breakup in the recent past. It looks like within that breakup there was a sense of clarity had within themselves as they find themselves, or we're looking at Virgo energy in the Empress, and also with this Eight of Fire, clearing blockages, doing the research. The Queen of Fire here is, I feel like for Virgo, embodying getting out of their head, getting out of their hermit mode, and putting boots to the ground to confirm and to establish a realistic foundation. Alright, so yes, the Ace of Cups is in the challenging position, which confirms and corresponds with the Queen of Cups in reverse in my second position, which is also a challenging position. Alright, the Wheel of Fortune. Emperor, Eight of Cups, Four of Fire. Okay, so walking away from a connection, emotionally detaching from a connection toward their own sense of stability. And there goes the breakup. Breakup. Looking at a new chapter there. Avoiding conflict with this Five of Fire and Six of Fire. Bailing out. So it looks like they're making a move to salvage themselves and to confirm within themselves that the connection is truly theirs, that they can show up and stand the test of time in their connection, that they could bring to the table what is necessary for longevity and for their ultimate highest good in the connection. So there seems to be a continuous theme of self-preservation and reassurances being made in these connections to make sure that they truly can bring what is needed to the table. Now we'll look at Aries in the 7th house, which is Libra's house. Okay, Knight of Cups. The Strength. and the Four of Fire. Mm. For the Aries and Libra connection, it looks like the trajectory was very similar to the previous readings that we've done, going through the houses 1 through 6 so far, where our person of interest felt like they needed to double check and withdraw from the connection to make sure that they themselves were okay and capable of supporting, in a harmonious, healthy way, the connection involving the both of you. It looks like in this connection, as soon as our person of interest, Libra, feels potentially not strong enough or having cold feet, it looks like their lover, Aries, is able to complement and bring the necessary support. So the way that we're seeing this connection show up to fight for Aries' love is actually a mutual effort fighting for each other's love. So that's a beautiful thing to see. In the 7th house with Aries, the first house, while again just repeating it, while moving through all the other houses to this point, was looking at some cold feet and, you know, runner type energy, but as described, it was for self-preservation and to double check within themselves to confirm that they truly were capable to bring what was necessary into a committed relationship. In the 7th house, which governs love and marriage and relationships, in the 1st house, which governs the self, seeing that there's a mutual supportive energy toward fighting for one another's love, showing up for one another, truly complementing each other's weaknesses and strengths. That's what I'm looking at here. That's nice. All right. It just reminds me, in an ideal relationship, it would be nice to have that complementary energy of being able to show up for each other, being present in the connection for one another, and so much to even notice the fluctuation that their partner is going through, and being able to show up and be supportive and bring that added component to make sure that the connection is healthy. Okay, so for Aries and Scorpio, here again, it looks like the same type of energy of being ready to move into this connection, having the mutual energy of moving it to a higher level of commitment, and then having the cold feet as had been described in other houses. The 8 of Cups symbolizes emotionally detaching and walking away, and then moving forward, we're looking at the reciprocity energy here. The Hierophant, the 6 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Fire. Even though it looks like the current, which would be Scorpio, finds themselves alone, looking, standing on the edge of the dock of the bay, waiting for their ships to come in, looking for that supportive energy, that complementary energy that matches their energy of, being commitment minded, having the reciprocity, and also having that magnetic attraction. So basically it looks like there was a mutual, the reading came in with a mutual supportive energy between one another, moving the connection to a higher level of commitment. However, the cold feet, as was described, showed up, and now it looks like Scorpio is waiting to see if Aries is truly the one who would come and fight for their love. So I'm seeing, it looks like Scorpio has already fought for the love, has already established that they have what it takes to sustain the love. But now they also want to see if Aries will show up and be able to do the same. That's what I'm looking at here. Now we'll look at Aries with Sagittarius connections. Aries and Sagittarius. Aries and Sagittarius. I'm going to clarify this justice, which generally stands for reciprocity, give and take, a harmonious, healthy connection. But it's also justice, so I want to clarify it. See, the Ten of Swords is showing up, and the Ten of Pentacles, and the Four of Fire. Okay, so I feel like that confirms the justice, the reciprocity, the balance, the give and take. So this connection comes into the reading established. So let's see, and it looks like there's love here with the King of Cups. Let me confirm. Okay, so as I wanted to clarify this one, it's actually showing that there's some doubt, there's some distrust, I'm looking at some obstructive interference, some offense has been made, and attempts are being made to fight in this connection for your love. So it looks like here there's a mutual fight for each other's love. So this connection comes in looking like a twin flame soulmate connection, because I'm picking up mirroring energies. So there's the actions taking place to alchemize within their connection to balance themselves. Your person is showing up to heal you, Sagittarius. It looks like Sagittarius is going through some moments of doubt, but then also moments of affirmations are coming to Aries. That's what it looks like. There is some alchemizing taking place, but obstructive interference, not necessarily due to a third-party situation, but life circumstances, such as and including, but not limited to, internal conflicts, external conflicts, but not really looking at third-party situation conflict. But it could be You know, it looks like just a multitude of variables, however the storyline would fit. And then we're looking at either a new start where the connection moves into a new chapter together, or we're looking at the progression of Sagittarius moving out of that connection to have a moment to themselves and to explore their environment with their own energy to get themselves established. So the running theme throughout most of this stream, as we've gone through the houses 1 through 9 so far, seems to be showing up here too, where the connection is coming into the reading established, you know, in the process of being raised to a higher level of commitment, but then some cold feet, some doubt is infused in the connection, and we're seeing one in the couple begin to detach and heal themselves and find clarity within themselves, confirm things for themselves before returning to the connection or being left on a cliffhanger in the storyline, where I'll have to come back and do more updated readings. But that's what I'm having so far. Hello in the chat. Thank you so much for your support on the video. And I remember your comment from the last time you stopped by. Alright, so we're going to move and look at the Aries connection with Capricorn. Alright, Aries with Capricorn. Aries with Capricorn connections. The Capricorn could also have cusp energy with Sagittarius, Capricorn Sagittarius cusps, or Capricorn Aquarius cusp energy. But let's take a look at Capricorn and Aries. 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 This storyline seems to be picking up different energy than yesterday. So there could be a different storyline here. As I like to say, it's a general reading, not intended to resonate with everyone. So don't force it to fit, because I'll be back to do another one. This appears to be a different storyline with the Aries and the Capricorn connection. And it's depicting coming into this reading as bachelor, bachelorette couple, each single, and, you know, prepared to find their match and to begin dating. And so we do see, as the connection progresses, it moves forward to finding someone of interest here. Okay, so whereas the other houses that we've read for house 1 through 9 has been describing a connection established, and then our person of interest getting the cold feet and needing to reaffirm within themselves everything that had been described so far. This connection between Aries and Capricorn, the first house and the 10th house, comes into the reading as the single bachelor, bachelorette, you know, moving towards love and finding someone of interest. So how will your person fight for your love? It looks like they start out fighting for your love by establishing within themselves that they have love, that they have balance, that they are moving intentionally, looking for their person and finding a potential. That's what I have in this one. So now we'll look at Aries and Aquarius. Aries and Aquarius. The first house and 11th house. Okay, so here in this reading, we're looking at the Aquarian alchemizing. What are they alchemizing? Let's take a look and get a clarifier. There goes the Seven of Swords. So some element of distrust has come into the picture. And so the alchemist, works on blending elements together that don't normally work well. Like hot and cold, wet and dry, and alchemizing that. So the Seven of Swords is here. Let's see what else. And there is the major arcana component to the Seven of Swords, which is the Star card. So it looks like just alchemizing, getting the balance within themselves to attract their wish fulfillment. Yes, there goes the Four of Pentacles. That represents holding back, not overextending themselves at their own expense. Yeah, and there goes the Four of Fire. So looking at those two fours, which for me represent and symbolizes the core and getting balanced within themselves so that they can be balanced and harmonious and healthy with others. So we're looking at the Four of Fire. Also the Ten of Swords and the Four of Pentacles show up again. Alright, so indeed, alchemist. The alchemist, the temperance, is alchemizing. The Seven of Swords showed up, so it looks like some energy that they're not really sitting well with showed up. And that's even more so described as we move forward into the reading, and we have the Three of Fire, which is the Corn standing on the edge of the dock of the bay waiting for their ships to come in. And then we have the Queen of Swords come in, and then the Five of Swords make an appearance. So it looks like there's some aggressive mentality approaching Aquarius. That Aquarius is not really feeling. It feels overbearing or just different. And so it looks like potentially toxic as well, giving the Aquarian some pause. So how do they show up to fight for your love, Aries? It looks like, again, making sure that they're balanced, that they're healthy, able to show up in the connection in the capacity needed for it to have the established longevity and the desired elements for both of you. So it says moving out of a toxic situation into a better situation, ensuring that things are falling into proper alignment and clarity. It just looks like pausing and waiting for balance, for the wish fulfillment, for confirmations. That's what I'm picking up with Aries and Aquarius connection. Now we'll look at Aries and the 12th house connection, which is Pisces house. And this Pisces has potential to have some cusp energy, which would be Pisces Aquariuses and or Pisces Aries cusps. So thank you guys for your support on the channel and on the video. I appreciate you. Let's see. Pisces, Aries, Pisces, Aries, Pisces, Aries, Pisces, Aries, Pisces, Aries. Pisces, Aries, Pisces, Aries, Pisces, Aries. So very similar energy that we picked up in the 11th house here. The wish fulfillment has already taken place, and moving from toxicity into a better environment has already taken place. So whereas in the 11th house we're looking at the progression of the alchemist and then moving towards the wish fulfillment, we're coming into this reading taking the stage with the wish fulfillment. Looks like on the horizon, and it looks like the current has already moved from the toxic energy, has come into the balance and the synchronicity that they were looking for in the 11th house. We're coming into the 12th house with that energy right on the horizon. We're still moving into the alchemist energy here, so the process, it looks like it's still settling in. So we're looking at progression. You know how when you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but there's still some way to go to get out of the tunnel to the light, in the light. So it looks like that process is happening, and it's confirmed that it will happen with the Ace of Pentacles. Alright, so that Ace of Pentacles is moving the connection to a higher level of commitment. And then overall I'm looking at our Pisces, since this is Pisces energy, making sure that they have themselves in order, that they are prepared to bring to the table what is required for longevity for their Aries connection. And this is good because I do remember yesterday that there was a lot of chaotic energy, and there were a lot of concerns. I was even basically saying, hey, you know, I rarely try to put my opinion into this, but Pisces, you know, don't lose yourself, Pisces. That was the message. Don't lose yourself, honey. You know, and that's what I see Pisces doing here. Getting a grip, healing themselves, alchemizing, working with universal energies. Yes, to put everything into its proper perspective. Everything that needed to happen, we're looking at that happening, which is so beautiful. And then the message yesterday for their person of interest, was it Aries? I don't remember what. Oh, was it Scorpio? Whatever house that it was in. Like, for an example, if it was Scorpio, that's the 8th house. That's the house that governs transitions such as this, metamorphosis, you know, the life after death, you know, type of transformative energy, new beginnings after closures. So, yay, to find in the 1st house this process happening, and we're progressively seeing that it does happen. And one of the most beautiful suits of a new beginning in the suit of Pentacles, that new beginning, raising the connection to a higher level of commitment. That brings us to the final house in this live stream. So again, I just like to thank you all for your support on the channel and on this video. Thank you for stopping by and spending some time with me in the chat as well. So we'll be signing off this one for now, and until next time, peace.